That's right.
Shadow Systems. This thing looks nice.
It's expensive.
Are you ready? Stand by.
All right, welcome back. Got another bug gun review for you. This one, it's another one of those I didn't really want to like the gun. It's the Shadow Systems CR920. I got a buddy, old Robbie B, who was bugging me to borrow this. Hey, you should try this gun. You should try this gun. And I was like, it's a Glock Gen 3. Like, what am I going to say about it? But I tried it, and I don't know. Maybe I'm giving away the ending here, but I really liked it. Which is really tough for me because I'm not a big Glock guy, and I really didn't want to like it. If you've seen the Glock 42 video that I did with Brent's Glock 42 a while ago, I didn't expect to like that, but did. Anyway, I got more to tell you about this thing, but let's take a look at a few more stages. We'll come back. We'll put it in the bug box, see if it fits, which probably will. Yeah, and then we'll do a pros and cons at the end. All right, here we are with the top of the gun in the box. As you can see, it clearly fits in the bug box. There's a little bit of extra room there. I think you might be able to get a pinky extension and get a little bit more grip for your pinky there. It's going to be well under the 26-ounce weight limit for... That's not right. Let me see here. I think that's sitting on the lip of that thing. There we go. 17.6 is what I had when I was testing it off camera. That's what we've got now. Just a little bit of a comparison here. This is the Glock 43 size width, that sort of thing. I've got my Glock 26 here with the recover grip thing on there. I'm trying that out. I don't know. It's kind of a place to put your thumb more than anything else. But as you can see, it's it's quite a bit thinner than the Glock 26. Not that that's a problem, because it seems to shoot really flat. But anyway, that's a good comparison there. I don't have a 43 to show you to test it against, but compared to the Glock 26, the only difference is really that it's just a little bit thinner. Let's take a look at a couple more stages and come back with the pros and cons.
You're done. Unload, truck clear.
All right, so those are the stages. Yeah, so I started at a ASI match because it's kind of getting into the season, and I want to do, start doing what I'm going to do for the year in IDPA. So ASI is a great place to go and screw around. So if you have that near you, give it a try. It's a good time. Yeah, so some of the pros for this guy, metal magazines. So I have said for a long time, and I looked it up today, but these are all metal magazines. There's no plastic grip sleeve around the metal like the Glock ones have. And I've always thought that was a bit of a problem for Glocks. I didn't really know why they did it, so I looked it up today, and the reason that they do it is Glock magazines have a stiff metal tube encased in the proven Glock high-tech polymer. This prevents deformation even when dropped from great height or exposed to extreme environments. So that's the reason. I don't know. I'm not gonna go drop a bunch of Glock mags from extreme height. But I know that they have a tendency, or at least sometimes, to swell up because and then the plastic on plastic, I think, is what causes. I'm sure you've seen somebody do this, where they're shooting a Glock and they eject a magazine, it doesn't quite fall, so they go shake it. Or even worse, there's like the tactical cool guy flip, where it's like every reload they do is the whoop, and it flings the magazine across the range, and it's out, but it's slow. So yeah, the metal on polymer seems to be to have more lubricity and falls out easier. So, and on top of that, I think you get a little bit more room to play with to get rounds in there, because this is the 10 round magazine from the CR920, and this is the CR, or the magazine from the, here, I'm just showing myself here. Here's me enjoying looking at these. The Glock 26, 10 rounds, 10 rounds. This is wider, but this is 10 rounds thinner, and it fits into a thinner grip. So when they were making the 43, which I think comes, it's like a 7 round magazine, maybe 6, it was possible. And instead of, which is sort of traditional for Glock, instead of releasing their grip on their, what we do now is perfection and you're just going to like it, they could have changed to something like this and had 10 rounds in a smaller platform, and really, you know, I'm banging the metal box around, you know, change the game when they had the opportunity to back in, I don't know, when 2014 or whatever, when the Glock 43 came out, but they didn't. The sights on this thing, I'd probably change the front sight. It's what is blacked out rear, bright yellow front sight. It's a night sight, and blacked out rear is like the way to go. You know, I don't like the 3 dots line up the planets kind of thing. The bore axis is low compared to a SIG, or yesterday, I didn't put any of the footage up here, but I had the new Canik Mete MC9 out there, and even with the 108 power factor loads, the reduced power factor loads, the CR920 being a smaller gun, the recoil was less cumbersome. Not that either was terribly difficult, but you could just tell the difference because of the higher bore axis on the Canik. But we'll get to that one eventually. But yeah, we'll talk about that more. The beaver tail compared to a Glock 43 is superior on the CR920. If that's important to you, then yeah, it just really kind of like sinks your hand down into the thing, and I really liked it. This one's kind of funny. So there's a fluted twisty barrel for this guy. I don't know that it makes a whole lot of difference, but it's fluted and twisty, and so I'm going to say that, you know, I was only down 2 points through 6 stages yesterday, and that was all because of the fluted barrel. So accuracy is on point. So kind of what I do with these when I take them out is like, I usually, the first stage that I show you is me shooting it for the first time, because I'm just going to take it out and line up the sights as they should be and pull the trigger and see if the rounds go where I want them to. And with this one, it was like picking up a gun and shooting it, something that I've trained with, or that I've had been running for a while, and I haven't. So you can't ask for much more accuracy than pick up a gun, line up the sights, and it hits where you're aiming. So, and it did that. The slide serrations on the front and the back are deep, grippy, and they look cool. So, I mean, that's what slide serrations are for, and particularly looking cool. So, I'll show you that. See, cool looking. Much better than a Glock 43. The mag release. So I had a little trouble. Like I said, I borrowed this gun. I didn't buy it. We'll get into expense here in a minute. But I was looking at it, and it's wide enough, because originally one of my critiques was like the magazine release isn't big enough. It's wide enough. It's kind of like a Gen 4, Gen 5 width, but this is a carry gun, so it's designed to be this way, I think, and it's probably better. It's not going to be, you know, in a pocket or a thin holster hitting that or something. But I was having trouble actuating it, and I didn't switch it over to my side. Like I said, it's not my gun. I didn't want to, on these little guns, it can be difficult to get in there and flip that thing around. So I just left it the way it is and tried to do the old, you know, with my, I'm just going to cover my face with this way. And it worked. It was slow, but reloading these little guns is often slower than big guns. So such is life. The last thing, I know people are concerned with this. It comes in a cool bag. So there you go. And for the amount you're going to pay for it, it ought to. So you're probably paying for the bag as well as the gun, but that's all right. Cons, I really don't have much to say negative about it. It shot really well. I don't know how many shots we shot at that ASI match yesterday, but down 2, and I wasn't, over aiming or going slow because it was a little gun. I was just going, see the dot, call the shot kind of thing. And so yeah, a couple of cons. There's no pinky extension for the flush magazine. It comes with a flush magazine and a I think the magazine tube only goes to 10, but I know it holds more than that. I put 12 in there at least, so so it holds more than that. This will not fit in the box. I think that again, it's not my gun, but I think you could trim this down and make it fit, and that might be a pinky extension sort of idea. But these, come to think of it, these magazines might be the same, just with a +2 base pad. The other con, it's not fully ambidextrous, so kind of a con, kind of not. If you're going to do it in, if you're going to run it in like bug division for IDPA and be left-handed, which is, me, and there's probably no one else, you should probably get a gun that's fully ambidextrous, just because you're going to be doing a crap ton of reloads, and you almost can't avoid going to slide lock at some point, because you're going to, you can reload at 5 now with one in the chamber, but there's a lot of arrays that are 6 or 8 rounds, and if it's 6, then you're going to be going to slide lock and then moving on and reloading while you're at slide lock moving, or if it's an 8-round array, you're going to be standing and reloading, which is, you're going to go to slide lock and you're probably going to be as fast as you can doing that. So yeah, it would be nice to have a fully ambidextrous one. The Glock 43 isn't. I don't know if they make a gun in this size that is fully ambidextrous. I don't think so, because Glock doesn't do things like that. The other con is that it's expensive for what it is. I mean, the Glock 43 being, even though it's still suboptimal compared to this gun, is, I don't know. I can get them on the law enforcement program, and it's cheap. It's like $400, maybe cheaper, probably cheaper. But this one, I was looking on, I don't know, the internet, and I found it one for $680. This was the lowest price I saw, and then there was one that was $1,020, which is a lot. I don't know what that comes with. Maybe it comes with some super cool stuff I don't even know about. But yeah, seemed like a lot to me. So the bottom line is that I've already been over it, but this is what the Glock 43 should have been. Like, when Glock was looking at, so, I was working at a gun store at the time, and they were, the rumor was Glock's going to come out with a single stack 9, because everybody was at that time. The 380 craze was over, and we've moved on to single stack 9s. And we're like, boy, we can't wait for Glock to make one. And so they advertised it, and it was the 42, which is a 380. And we're all like, cool, man, you're, a few years behind. And that seems to be their MO. They're just a few years behind. And now they've morphed away from doing what everybody else is doing, just a few years behind, into refusing to do what everybody else is doing, or refusing to innovate in any way. So if it sounds like I'm the guy who rags on Glock, I am. And, I just think there's better stuff out there. So, but this in particular shoots really well. It is what the Glock 43 should have been. And yeah, I got nothing bad to say about it. So yeah, if you like these videos, check out the it's a playlist that I don't remember what it's called, but it's on the YouTube channel. And if you have the time, check out our website, www.dz214.com, where you can donate to the charity partners that we sponsor to the sports. We appreciate that. Yeah, we'll see you out there on the range.